Hi, my name's Brendan Higgins. I'm here with Carl Fisher, who teaches Jiu-Jitsu. I'm just here to interview him and ask him, his experience and advice. Anyway, Carl, Jiu-Jitsu. Can you tell me a little bit?
Tell you a little bit, yeah, sure. I first started off teaching Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, which would be the traditional Jiu-Jitsu, which is all like self-defense based syllabus. You do a certain amount of throws, disengagements, from double collar grabs, burr hugs, rear burr hugs, side headlocks, all that kind of stuff, disengaging techniques. Then we train against knife attacks, weapons attack, edge weapons, baton attacks, that kind of stuff, like weapons that you find out on the street, kind of thing. We do katas, like I say, and ground fighting.
Ground fighting.
So we did a lot of that up until 1999. I got my second dan in traditional Jiu-Jitsu with Trev Roberts, and then from then I went over to Los Angeles and I heard about the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Right. So
now there's two different types of Jiu-Jitsu in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. There's the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, which is a trademarked method of self-defense, which is very similar to traditional Jiu-Jitsu that I used to do. Okay, and then there's the normal, what we'd say normal Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is pretty popular in the UK and around the world at the minute, and that's more, say, sport-based Jiu-Jitsu for competitions and tournaments. But that's not to say there's no self-defense elements in it.
Why is there so many different types? Why don't they just...
I don't know, people have just sprung out. The traditional side started off in Japan, feudal Japan, and was for the samurai classes and was tested on the battlefield.
Right.
Okay, so a lot of the Jiu-Jitsu techniques in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu have been all the more serious, injury causing techniques. Similar to Judo, have been like, not outlawed, but they classed as illegal moves in a competition.
Right.
That's not to say on the street, they've got an application on the street, but a lot of the techniques, say in Judo and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, are designed to minimise the risk of serious injury.
Right.
But that said, in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Judo, you can do an armbar, which can quite easily snap the person's arm, or a choke, unconscious, but you have the tap out system.
Right.
Okay, so if you're in a bad position or a submission's on, or you verbally submit.
Right.
So you don't go in a competition and purposely break the guys out.
Right.
Accidents do happen, but 9 times out of 10, if you're in a position, it's in your interest to tap your foot or verbally. If both your hands are pinned for some reason, you could tap your foot or signal something.
Competition's more of how you progressed, I would imagine, rather than...
Yeah, a lot of it's competition based.
But to use it is really for protecting yourself out on the street against...
Yeah, most competition techniques, like it's called pulling guard. If there's a fight in a nightclub, you won't be dropping to your back to pull guard. It'll just be suicide. On your back there'll be broken bottles lying around the place. You probably get kicked and injured. No matter you want to stand, you want to try and stay standing. But should it go to the ground, something if they trip over you or they burn you or tackle you, then there are ways to get yourself back on to your feet.
Right.
And that's in traditional Jiu-Jitsu or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Right. Well,
but more often than not, the BJJ is for the mats like this, for competition-based arena.
So, what got you involved in Jiu-Jitsu?
Well, I started off, I was about 20 years old. I got assaulted in town on a night out. Typical scenario. Got badly beaten up. 2 guys pinned me up against the wall. Another guy sat about me. Then I ended up fighting back with him. Had a week off work. Black eye, broken nose, the usual business. And a friend of mine was doing karate, and he came round and seen the state I was in and said, I've got to start learning some self-defense. So I started off in karate originally. Got into it, and I started from there. Got my black belt with karate, then moved on to traditional Jiu-Jitsu. Like the more self-defense based, but I'd combined my karate into the traditional Jiu-Jitsu. And then '99, I went over to Los Angeles and I got into the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But also competed in Sambo, which is Russian wrestling. Because at the time, 94, 95, there wasn't any Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, not in Britain as such. You had to go to America. And at the time I wasn't aware of it. I'd read about it in the magazine, but it wasn't until 99 that I finally... I'd done a few seminars in 98 in the UK and got into Los Angeles in 99, and that's when I got into training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
So this has took you around the world?
Oh yeah, I've been all over the world, yeah. I also do a lot of reporting.
Yeah, I heard that you used to have your own...
Yeah, I used to write for magazines. I still do write for magazines.
Right, which one do you write for?
Oh God, Grappling magazine.
Right.
In the US, Ultimate Athlete, Bodyguard, probably forget a few. Gong in Japan, Combat Fighters, Combat and Fighters in the UK, and a lot of internet websites.
Right.
Too many to mention really.
Yeah.
We've been all over the world. I've been America, Britain, Europe, Scandinavia, Middle East and Far East, and then September I'm going down to Brazil.
Right.
Finally. Get a taste of the southern Kuwait.
Yeah.
But I've been fortunate enough to travel, competing, training, seminars. You know, it gets you
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So if I wanted to take this up,
Yeah.
you know, being brand new to it, what should I expect?
Just expect, first thing to do if you've never done anything before, if you do find a club, is actually speak to the instructor and see if you can watch a class.
Right.
So you can either watch a class first or generally get stuck in. Some people will either get stuck in or they'll sit out and watch.
Right.
If you like what you see, then go in and join a class. You normally do warm-up techniques, drill positions, do some techniques, then you do some specific training from specific positions in Jiu-Jitsu, and then you usually finish off with what's called rolling. What would be like boxers sparring at the end. When they do a class and they spar together,
Right.
where you go on the floor, one-on-one, and you roll to submission. But if you're a beginner, you know, you're going to be like a fish out of water. So they'll usually keep you with specifics, and you just have to keep coming, and you'll pick techniques and stuff like that as you
build confidence
Yeah,
as well.
as you come along. Yeah.
Right. So anybody in your class, has any of them got into competitions?
Yeah. We're a very competitive club.
Really?
There's about 15 students. We're not big by any stretch for the big guns in Birmingham and London and what have you, but I compete all the time. My white belts and blue belts compete. We competed in Manchester last month. I competed in Hereford last month. There's competitions in August and September that we're competing in. Hopefully going to be competing in Brazil. Then when I come back, October, November, there's the Kent Open in London. Brighton competition in August where I'm going. So there's competition like nearly every month.
Right, so this is Cal's gym, Cal Fisher.
Yeah, well this is my little gym, combat based Bolton. You see we've got 50 square metres of mat. So we're predominantly BJJ, we've got crash mat, we do mixed martial arts as well. It's mainly at the minute concentrating on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Because we've got some six or seven guys ready for the blue belts. So we just want to concentrate on getting the guys up to blue belt, and then we'll do no-gi classes probably after the summer.
Right.
Just want to get the guys.
Right. So tell them where to go if they wish to take this up.
We're based on Brownlow Business Park, Tennyson Street, Halliwell, Bolton, I think BL1 3HW.
Right.
And it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night, 6:30 till 8:30.